I'm making a steel gate today, as well as some fence posts and also the framing that fits to the side of the house. My old fence blew down in the storm and the gate's been destroyed by the wind, so I'm going to make a super solid one right here in the workshop. I finished the first two end posts in the last video, so now it's time to fabricate the gate itself. But not before I slap some paint on these bad boys. And in order to do that, I need to key in the surface. What keying in is basically roughing up the surface so the paint has something to adhere to so it won't just peel off. So I'm going to use some sandpaper to do that, then we're going to clean it down and get them painted with some proper tough metal paint. The paint I'm going to use is the Hammerite Direct to Rust paint, not because this is rusty, but because it doesn't need a primer and it can just go directly on the metal. So I'm going to build up the coats with that and I'm going to apply it with a roller to get a nice even surface. The paint is finally dry and it's taken ages thanks to the cold weather. So first things first today is to start fabricating the remaining framing for the gate. Let's go. Before going any further with the frame for the gate, I need to figure out some hinges. I have been considering all these bits and bobs. I even designed these adjustable hinges only to then realize that they already exist. But I thought, rather than buy some or remake something else, we'll fabricate them from scratch and do a proper job of it. And I've come up with this template. The hinges will be made from 3mm sheet. It'll have a little strengthener in the form of this circular hollow section. Now you may have seen in my other videos how I plot and cut templates that I've made, and it's dead simple. All I do is pop the template on, I then grab a marker pen and then I scribble over the edges. I start on the actual template and drag away from it because this avoids any bunching up, just like that. Now let's cut it out. I've made a boo-boo with the hinges. So my original design for the hinges, the back part encloses over the front like that, which means that all of the weight will be resting on this bottom portion. A good way to think about it is, if you have the two brackets from this hinge inside like that, if you then push down, all of the weight is on one finger. What we actually need them to do is slot over one another like that. Then the weight is distributed between the two hooks. What we need to do is make them like this instead. Now that I'm done fiddling around with the hinges, before I go welding them onto the frame, I want to ensure that they're all placed correctly. So that means building the door, laying it in the frame, and then I can line everything up so that everything is foolproof and the door fits completely. I've laid everything out. I'm now going to start welding this bad boy up. This is the gate. This is the body itself. This is what's actually going to swing forward and back. Now, it won't look like this in the end. It'll have all bits and bobs inside it. And those bits and bobs include some wood. This is in the form of tongue and groove. It's a nice thick 25mm one, and this is going to fit in like that. Obviously it's going to fill all the way up to about here, and then it's going to stop. In order to attach the wood to the frame, I've got two strips and this flat bar. These are going to be welded in the sides so that the wood can be screwed directly to it. There's also going to be this crossbar. It's going to fit in there like that. And then we've got some circular hollow section. They're going to fit across like that, sort of 100mm or so spaced apart. I know it looks a bit prisonery at the moment. It'll look good when it's finished. I've run out of welding gas, so in order to make use of the time, I'm going to drill all of the fixing holes in the gate frame so it can be secured to the house. Now that the holes are drilled, this is ready to be attached to the wall. If you missed me making the first initial posts, then you can watch that video here, and I'll catch you on the next one.